Okay, so that first coat on, what coat? What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Paint Society. Right now, we're working on two cars. Well, we got Mario over here, but we're gonna focus on the IS right now. And we have Diaz, who's been working all day on this car, so let's see exactly what he's got going on. What's up, Diaz?
What is up?
All right, so here, there's a big dent right here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
straight across here.
could you get access from the back in that particular area?
We couldn't. We took the door panel off and we checked the back.
Yeah.
And we couldn't get back there.
So you had to what, zap it?
I actually used a stud welder.
Okay, the stud welder, and then
I put welds all straight across it and then pulled it.
Yeah.
And then I hammered down all the high sides and then I just filled it.
Okay. Okay, you found a couple more dents, huh?
Yep.
So originally I think this was just for here, then we found a couple dents here. So now we're gonna go ahead and blend the quarter panel and blend the front door. So what are you doing here? Just putting on?
I'm putting on a little bit of glaze down here.
Okay, just to kind of make sure it's all flat?
Exactly.
All right, so we'll watch you do that. It's a new spreader?
Yeah.
You can tell. It's so smooth. Now, if you apply a little less pressure, you'll be able to
fill that in.
Cover it, yeah, so you don't see the ring. You know what I mean? Okay. So now you'll have more of a build to sand, and it'll be smoother. That makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Okay. All right, so Diaz got everything nice and sanded down, and we're gonna go over it with a urethane primer surfacer, so it's a little bit thick, and I'll fill in our 220 grit scratch. Actually, we went over it with 320 to smooth out all these areas here. This has been painted before. You can actually see where it's been painted. You know, you can look at the rings. You know, that was clear coat, and then that's base, clear coat, base, clear coat. So we're gonna go over this whole thing real quick with some primer, and we'll let that dry, and then we'll give it a good sand, and then we'll see what it looks like. So we'll put 3 coats on, and then I'll show you what it looks like once it's all dried and once we start to block it. And then we'll start the prep on the door and then the quarter panel. Okay, so while the primer's drying, I'm gonna go ahead and scuff my blend area. And remember, scuffing a blend area is just scuffing it. You wanna make sure we're very careful of the edges so we don't burn through, because that's where the paint generally is gonna be thinner. This color I have a little experience in. It is a very fine metallic. So those metallics are gonna wanna land right in any of your sand scratches. So I like to prep with 800 to 1000. I have 800 here just to get it scuffed up, and I might go over it with 1000 later. So I'm gonna use 800 first without the pad, and then I'll put the interface pad in probably to soften up the scratch and make sure I get everything thoroughly scuffed up. So I'm gonna go ahead with 800. And then I'm going to go ahead and we'll get the quarter panel scuffed up all the way around, and then we'll see if this is ready to sand down tonight. Okay, so for tonight, what I went ahead and did is I just got my front door all scuffed. I went ahead and washed and cleaned it off. I like to make sure I clean like 10 times. I just think it's good practice. So I did the quarter panel as well. That's all scuffed all the way around. This is still drying here. Diaz will come tomorrow. He'll sand that down, get that ready, and then I'll just go ahead and I'll probably wash the whole thing over again. So this is it for now, and we're just about ready to paint it, so we'll take it into the booth. Right after this clip, it should be good to go. Okay, so Diaz today actually got this all sanded. Looks like he had a little reprime right here, probably a little low spot, got some primer on there. Looks really good. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to mask it all up, and then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna seal this door right here, and what we're gonna do with the color. Is a very tricky color. And we're not so much gonna blend the quarter because we are repainting the bumper, so I can take the color all the way to the edge, but keep it away from the trunk area. So let's go ahead and get this masked up, and we'll bring it back and show you the paint once it's all masked up. It's ready to go. Now I'm going to show you a little something you got to do with this color. This door right here has got a lot of body work. It's got a lot of sanding. You know, nothing is ever really 100% perfect with our sand scratches. I can't say that I have 100% eliminated all sand scratches. So to prevent any issues, okay, and as an aid in good coverage and hold out to seal off our primer, we're going to use a sealer, okay? You really want to use it on a big area like this. It's just really going to help you out. So we have different shades from Color Build, and I went ahead and I went through them all, and I picked the best one. It doesn't really match great, but it's in a lighter shade, and I'm gonna put this down. But before I do that, I'm gonna mask the door up with paper, and I'm gonna mask the quarter panel, because I don't want any of my overspray from the actual sealer to get on these panels. I don't want any material on the blend panels, because they're just blend. And if I get more material, that's gonna mean a little bit more that I have to fan out, and it can cause sand piling, which is the grittiness of the actual silver metallic. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm going to, like I said, mask these off, then I'm gonna seal the door, and then I'm gonna take that sealer and use it right over the whole entire bumper. So let's go ahead, let's get to that right now. Okay, so I got the sealer all mixed up. I actually added a little bit more yellow and some black, and I kind of made it a little bit more tannish. So I'm going to use a neutralizer, even on metal panels. It helps neutralize the panel, get better metallic layout. So I'm going to do this, seal it, and then seal that bumper in the back. Okay, so this is a sealer, it's all down. I'm gonna actually put the base on this first. That way I can prevent sand piling on panels that I don't want it on. And here is the sealer on the bumper. Looks pretty good. So I got the DB1. We're gonna put some base here. And let's see what it starts to look like. Okay, so I went ahead and I put one more layer of base on so it's nice and covered. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull off my blend areas and then we're going to go from there and show you what we're going to do. Okay, so that went really well. Let's talk about what's gonna happen now. Now this is actually gonna save you a lot of time. I've eliminated all the extra base coat on this panel. Now I'm gonna just do about a coat and a half on the rest of the panels, blend into the front door and blend into the rear. I'm first going to put a coat of clear base over all my areas I'm blending. I am, however, going to take my color all the way down the quarter because I am painting the bumper. And also, this car was painted before and the paint on it was super thin. I did have some burn throughs. I'll show you what that looks like now. So you can see when I was using only 1,000 of sand, it burned through really, really easy. I mean, I was barely on it. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna put some base, and then over here it's kind of patchy. You can't see it on camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and rebase it kind of up to here and kind of take the color into this area, but keep it away from the trunk. So clear base, I'll just clear base the whole thing and then blend. Let's see what happens. so that first coat went on really, really good. So what you're gonna see now is I mixed up a little more paint. It's not filled, it's just a little. I'm gonna put this on, I put a slow reducer in here. So I'm gonna cover it the same way. As soon as that's done, I got my same color mixed 1-to-1 with blending additive. That's gonna reduce the color. It's gonna make it a little weaker, a little more transparent, but it's going to help with the blend into the door and into the C pillar, B pillar. But before we do any of that, I'm gonna put this in my blend areas only now. So let's get to it and see what it looks like when it's all blended out. Our distance, not really going to mess with the PSI too much. And that's it. So I'm gonna let this flash. I'm gonna check it with the sun gun. If it looks good, then we're ready for clear. So while the base dries, and man, does it look good. And let me tell you, this car is special to me in this color because when I first started about 4 years ago, I mean, I learned a lot. I struggled with this color, and I must have redone it a few times. It looked okay, I was happy in the end, but I tell you, the first time around here, I really have learned a lot. Really happy what it looks like, and you guys can do the same exact thing. So, before we start clear coat, I went ahead and I purchased a 1.4 because the clears we're using now are a little more thicker, and technical data sheet calls for 1.4, use 1.3, but man, 1.4 just puts it on. You don't have to struggle too much. So you know you want to use what's right. So I ordered this, ran me about $189, but you know you got to have the right tool, and you have to pretty much gauge your gun, make it work for you based off the product that you're spraying. So I'm gonna put the new tip set in. All it is 1.4. I have a 1.3 in it now, and that's just gonna a little bit bigger. Next step up, and that's gonna help with the flow. So we're gonna mix up the clear, and then we're gonna get it on the car. Okay, so time for the fun part, or the scary part. So the color looks great. I got the bumper back there painted. This looks really good. On my first coat, I'm not gonna take it all the way to the edge of the front door because I don't want it to darken. I'm only gonna do that on my second coat. When I paint, I'm gonna go from the top down on this. So I'm gonna start at the A pillar, bring it around to the quarter panel, and I'm probably gonna half each door. So I'm gonna stop in the middle of each panel so I don't get that buildup. Sometimes you can walk it out, but you should probably walk it out always when you're doing color because that's more important. So first coat, I'm going to show you from a little bit further back. Second coat, I'm going to put you on my head. And just look at the passes, watch how I'm moving, and hopefully you can pick something up from what I do here. So we got that first coat on. We're gonna hit the second coat just the same way. You see I didn't really take my color all the way, my clear all the way to the end. It's looking good, I got it all on. So let's put that second coat on now. Okay, so the sun is overhead. Let's take a look. That bumper looks really good, but we don't really care about the bumper. We care about the blend. Tell me what you guys think. Can't see anywhere where we blend it. We took this all the way. In the area where we had to come close, we got a really good color match, so we don't have to worry about that up and over. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and assemble it. I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's all finally done. But there's something really cool in the shop I want to show you, so let's go take a look. What's up, John?
Old Town Road, you can get it all in the back.
John. This looks like the Fast and the Furious scene when they're about to build the Supra, and they have all the parts going over it. What is going on here?
Well, what we have here is a 94 NSX with blown head gaskets. So we had to pull the motor out and take the heads off, and that's what you see right here. Remove the whole motor, entire subframe and cradle area. We've already removed the heads, cleaned the decks, make sure that it's not warped. We cleaned the entire subframe here. You can see this where the motor sits.
It's in the back.
Mid-engine.
Call it mid-engine.
Yeah. Here are the cylinder heads. These have to go to the machine shop to get refinished. And then here's every single part from inside the cylinder heads.
Oh my, this is all from that car.
These are all just from these cylinder heads.
Holy cow. So they're
I'm
in
not
here.
sure where these bolts go, but I think I can figure it out.
Oh, hopefully, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
We'll find out once they go dry.
Yeah, right?
That's a joke.
Maybe.
Cool, so maybe in an upcoming video, come back and show these guys exactly how it went. Get it back to the car. It's just amazing to me now.
Yeah.
When this all goes back in, it needs to be aligned, the car, or no?
Well, technically, probably not. Because all of my suspension components haven't really moved.
Right.
It bolts right back up in here, but I'm sure I'm going to check the alignment.
Go ahead and check and make sure, yeah. Really, really cool. And you know the customer?
Customer's a good friend of ours. He's part of the Acura Honda Classic crew. There's a sticker up on the windshield there. And, you know, he had an option to bring the car somewhere and get it done cheaper, but he wanted to have it here done by the best.
By the best.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. Oh, right. So that's John. He works on the NSXs, a lot of them, and he's really, really good with it. So I'll show you that later, and we'll see how he did. For now, let's get this car assembled and show you what it looks like. Alright, so we're all done with the car. Diaz did a great job on the body work. Before we show you it, just hope everyone learned something from this, and we went the extra mile, that quarter. We found some dents on the door, so we went ahead and just took care of the quarter. We weren't initially going to paint it, but that's sometimes what you got to do to make it right. So I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like the video if you like it. That really helps this channel grow, and it helps me be inspired to do more videos. So hope you enjoy this one. Take a look, and we'll see you on the next one.